Well, Rosie, 30 points for you tonight, and you had it going in that first half. Take us into that scorer's mentality. You kind of knew early on that this was going to be a night that you were going to have some opportunities. They came to you early, but what's it like when you get in that zone and realize there's nobody in that other team that really can do a good job checking you?
The first quarter, I was kind of just kind of getting a feel of how they're guarding and everything like that, and I realized, I could take it to the basket every time, and once I got past my defender, I was able to score. And then into the second and third quarter, I kind of was I just had that mentality, just go straight at them, and I could finish over them and jump over. So I don't know, something inside me, I was just like, let's go, and keep pushing the tempo.
And it became especially important in that second quarter when you lose Haley for a while, don't know if she's going to come back, and
right.
you had to continue, being the leader at that point and not necessarily forcing the offense, but it was still coming to you at that point.
Yeah, and Coach Scott did a great job of just kind of recognizing that and making adjustments during the game and for either me or me to drive and find someone else. So overall, I think it was a good day for the Titans, and we definitely needed that win today.
Well, you had Gracie Roberts in the starting lineup
right.
tonight for the first time. She kind of helped establish that rhythm and got you going. What was it like being out there with Gracie to start the game?
It was great. It kind of gives me pressure, and it takes pressure off of me, just bringing up the ball, and kind of almost like gives me a break, you could say. So it was really nice having her out there because she knows where people are going, and she'll find people and run the offense.
Back-to-back great games for Anya off the bench. She makes a big contribution in the first quarter, 10 points. In the third quarter, she hit a three from the corner that led to a timeout. It's nice to see her starting to find her rhythm as well.
Yeah, we've been waiting for that. So it's nice to see that her confidence has really gone through the roof, and she's getting in the gym, putting up shots, and she's been a great asset to the team so far.
This non-conference play, you want to make sure that you fine-tune things before you go into conference season, and you're starting to see it. You're seeing progress just from the last two games, Mason and Minnesota. You guys made some progress today. What do you still want to see over this last month before you get into conference play that you want to see fine-tuned?
Defense. We know we have offense, but the defense, just rebounding, boxing out, those are kind of like our main key points that we need to focus on, and we're trying to focus on more in practice.
30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals, 5 assists. Great game.
Thank you.
That's Rosanna Reynolds, Titans victorious here at Eastern Michigan. Well, Coach, your most impressive performance on the road this season, and almost a complete 40 minutes, all things considered. Got to be happy with this effort, and it was a night that really belonged to Rosie above all and beyond.
Rosie played really well tonight. She played like a Player of the Year candidate, and we need her to do that every night. But our main focus tonight was on finishing and playing a complete game, and I think we were close to doing that. I think we played, like you said, our best road game yet. It was good to get the win.
I know you're always looking for improvement from game to game, and one thing that you did much better than you did, I know in Minnesota, was you got stops, you played defense, especially you set the tone in the first quarter as far as defensive switches, denying guards, getting a chance to penetrate. You got to be happy with the way you set that tone early on.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do. We gave up a lot of offensive rebounds in Minnesota. We gave up a few tonight, but they didn't hurt us as much. We were more committed defensively than we have been, and it showed in that first quarter. And then we had to make some adjustments because they had a young lady, Daly, that was having a pretty good night, and we had to make some adjustments to kind of slow her down.
You had a different look in the first quarter with Gracie Roberts running the point. I think you got to be happy with the early impressions. The ball movement was really good. That really stood out to PJ and I. We were watching from the sidelines, just really impressed at the way the ball moved those opening 7-8 minutes.
Well, Gracie does a good job of that, just running the offense. She's not a young lady that needs to score to affect the game. She's a very good passer, and she understands the game. I think it also helps Rosie. The past two games, we played Gracie and Rosie together, and Rosie's had her two best games. So I think, as a coach, we're making the right call there as far as putting Gracie in the lineup.
No free throws in the second quarter, which is really weird. You guys end up going 31 of 41 from the free throw line, and that's something that we talked about after the last home game against George Mason, is you wanted to see this team start hitting free throws the way that they can, the way they did last year. And it was nice to see on the road in a tough environment that they were able to come through, hit 76, 77%, and hit a lot of them. You got to the stripe, and that's important. You fed the ball to Brienne, and you got there.
Yeah, we're going to get to the free throw line. We need to hit those free throws. We've lost a few games this year because we haven't hit free throws. So it was was great to see us hit them tonight on the road because this game could have been a lot closer had we not made our free throws. But Bree Cohen did a great job of attacking inside and then rewarding herself by finishing the free throws.
Well, we talked about one freshman and Gracie Roberts. Anya comes off the bench. This is back-to-back great games for her. She has 7 threes in Minnesota. She comes out, has 10 points in the first quarter for you, a big 3 in the third quarter that forced a timeout for Eastern Michigan. We're starting to see that Anya, the potential freshman of the year type candidate that you talked about in the preseason, really starting to blossom here on this road trip.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. And I think for Anya, she just needed a game to see the ball go through the hoop. And she got that in Minnesota, and now she's playing with a ton of confidence. And this is the Anya we expected when we recruited her. So, for some freshmen, it takes a little time, and it took her a few games to get going. But now I think she's here to stay.
Well, it was also good to see the way the team responded when Haley went down in the second quarter. They went on a 12-1 run at one point, and you ended that second quarter with a lineup that had Rosie, Gracie out there, along with Lola coming off the bench, which is uncommon for her, obviously, second game doing that. And then you also had out there a freshman and Ashley Miller and Courtney Williams. So you had 2 people that weren't on the floor with your team during game situations last year that were out there with Lola coming off the bench. It was a different look, but you guys finished that second quarter strong, and I think that was very important with Haley on the bench, and you don't know at that point if she's coming back. A very strong finish to the first half when things could have gotten out of hand.
Yeah, we recruit players who we feel can play at this level, and everyone on our bench can come in and help us, and we're not afraid to put any of them in. And tonight, when we put them in, they did well, and that's what we look for. Everyone practices the same. Everyone gets better in our program, so we expect people to be ready to play when their number's called.
And you talk about getting better. You have an opportunity to get better against Western Michigan this weekend. You had some big posts at Minnesota. You had some big posts with George Mason. You have 2 very good posts with Western Michigan coming up in Hall and Mobley. Just your thoughts on the opportunity that presents itself as you continue to fine-tune this team going into league play.
Yeah, it's going to be a good challenge for us. Their post players are playing really well right now. They're really physical, so we got to step up to the challenge. It's going to be a good game, but we'll be prepared for it.
Bernard Scott, after his Titans are victorious here at Eastern Michigan.